Let others wage war. You, happy Austria, marry. That was the motto of the House of Habsburg. You know the face it made, the jaw that would not close. Between 1527 and 1661, the Spanish Habsburgs had 34 children. 17 of them were dead before the age of 10. The jaw did not kill one of them. Number 6. The Dispensations. Mariana of Austria, born 24th December 1634, married 7 October 1649, aged 14. From 1516 to 1700, the Spanish Habsburg kings contracted 11 marriages. 9 of them were to blood relatives, third cousins or closer. 2 were between an uncle and his own niece. Marriage inside that degree of kinship was forbidden. It required a dispensation from Rome, a document releasing the couple from the rule. The Habsburgs applied every time. They were granted one every time. Balthazar Charles, Prince of Asturias, was the only surviving son of Philip IV. In 1646, he was betrothed to his cousin, Mariana of Austria. He died of smallpox on 9 October 1646, 8 days before his 17th birthday. That left Philip IV with no male heir and a 12-year-old girl in Vienna with no husband. 3 years later, he married her himself. She was his sister's daughter. He was 44, she was 14. The wedding was at Navalcarnero on 7 October 1649. Every legal requirement was satisfied. The paperwork was in order. The impediment named in the dispensation is the blood. The second degree of consanguinity is an uncle and his niece. The dispensation is Rome agreeing not to count it. It was asked for 9 times and never refused. The dispensations are still in the archives. Every one of them is signed and dated. Nobody hid any of this. It was done in daylight, with permission, in writing, for 184 years. Number 5. The Son in the Locked Room. Carlos, Prince of Asturias, born 8 July 1545, died 24th July 1568, aged 23. In 1543, Philip II married Maria Manuela of Portugal. They were double first cousins. Genetically, that is the same closeness as a half-brother and a half-sister. Their son Carlos was born on 8 July 1545. His mother died 4 days later. A child is supposed to have 8 great-grandparents. Carlos had 4.
He should have had 16 great-great-grandparents. He had 6. He was born with one leg shorter than the other, and a curve in the spine that set his shoulders unevenly. He was violent with servants and with animals. In April 1562, he fell down a staircase at Alcalá de Henares and fractured his skull. Surgeons opened his head. He lived. The delusions and the pain began after. By 1567, he was arranging to leave Spain for the Netherlands without his father's consent. At midnight on 17th January 1568, Philip II entered his son's rooms in the Alcázar of Madrid with 4 counselors. They took his papers and his weapons. He was confined there. He never left the rooms. He died on 24th July 1568, 6 months later, after refusing food. The uneven shoulders in Sanchez Coello's portrait are a curvature of the spine. The high, stiff collar is what conceals it. The 4 great-grandparents are the reason there is anything to conceal. What the confinement was for, the family never wrote down. The portrait hangs in the Prado. He is 19 in it, black and gold, one hand on a table. Nothing in it is wrong with him. That is what it was for. Number 4. The girl in Las Meninas. Margarita Theresa of Spain, born 12th July 1651, died 12th March 1673, aged 21. In 1656, Diego Velázquez painted Las Meninas. It hangs in room 12 of the Prado. It is the most looked at painting in Spain. The child standing in the middle of it, in the pale silver dress, with the light falling on her hair, is Margarita Theresa. She is 5 years old. Her father was Philip IV. Her mother was Mariana of Austria, her father's niece. The couple reflected in the mirror at the back of the painting are those two people. In 1666, she was sent to Vienna to marry Leopold I, Holy Roman Emperor. He was her mother's brother and her father's sister's son, uncle and first cousin at once. She was 15. She had 6 pregnancies in 6 years. Ferdinand Wenceslaus, born September 1667, died January 1668. Maria Antonia, born January 1669. John Leopold, born February 1670, died the same month. Maria Anna, born February 1672, died within days. 2 more did not reach birth. Margarita Theresa died on 12th March 1673. She was 21. One of her 4 children was still alive. The girl at the center of Las Meninas is Margarita Theresa. The women around her are there to keep her upright. The 2 figures in the mirror are her parents, uncle and niece. The dress was made for a girl who would be married at 15. Las Meninas is still in room 12. There is a bench in front of it. People sit on the bench and look at the girl in the middle. She was buried in Vienna at 21. Number 3. The boy in the amulets. Felipe Prospero, Prince of Asturias, born 28th November 1657, died 1st November 1661, aged 3. By 1657, Philip IV had buried most of his children. Balthazar Charles was 11 years dead. He was 52, and Spain had no male heir. On 28th November 1657, Mariana gave birth to a son. They named him Felipe Prospero. Prospero means fortunate. In 1659, Velázquez painted him. The portrait is in the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna. The boy is 2 years old, in a red dress, beside a chair with a small white dog asleep on the cushion. Look at what is hanging on him. Strings cross his chest and fall from his waist. On them are metal bells, a piece of red coral, and a small clenched hand carved out of black jet. The bells on the strings are not decoration. They were rung to drive off what took children. The red coral is an amulet against sickness. The clenched black hand is a figa, a charm against the evil eye. None of it is jewelry. All of it is a defense. He wore it for 2 more years. He died on 1st November 1661, 4 weeks short of his 4th birthday. Charles was born on 6th November 1661, 5 days after his brother died. The painting is still in Vienna. The dog is still asleep on the chair. Every bell and every string is painted in detail. Whoever commissioned it wanted them in the picture. Number 2. The 34 children. Born 1545, died 1568. born 1629, died 1646. Born 1651, died 1673. Born 1657, died 1661. In 2009, 3 geneticists at the University of Santiago de Compostela published a paper in the journal PLOS1. Gonzalo Alvarez, Francisco Ceballos, and Celsa Quintero. They built a genealogy of the Spanish Habsburgs, covering more than 3,000 individuals across 16 generations. Then they did the thing nobody had done. They counted the children. Nobody had counted them before. The genealogies existed. The parish and court records existed. The arithmetic had simply never been done. Between 1527 and 1661, the Spanish royal family had 34 children. 10 of them died before their first birthday. That is 29.4%. 17 of them, exactly half, were dead before the age of 10. In the Spanish villages of the same period, across every social class, infant mortality ran at about 20%. The families in the villages had less food, no physicians, and no clean water. They buried a smaller share of their infants than the King of Spain did. Alvarez and his colleagues attribute the gap to one variable: the marriages. The 34 in the paper is every child born to a Spanish Habsburg king in 134 years. The 10 is the ones who did not reach 1. The 17 is the ones who did not reach 10. That is what the marriages did, not the jaw. The paper has been free to read online since April 2009. Anyone can open it. The numbers are in a table on the 3rd page. Everybody still talks about the face. Number 1, the jaw. Carlos II, King of Spain, born 6th November 1661, died 1st November 1700, aged 38. Here is the thing about the Habsburg jaw. The jaw is real. It has a clinical name, mandibular prognathism. The lower jaw grows past the upper, and the teeth no longer meet. In Charles II, it was pronounced enough that a contemporary reported he swallowed his food without chewing it. In 2019, Roman Vilas and a team at the same university tested the connection properly. 10 maxillofacial surgeons scored 18 facial features across 66 portraits of 15 Habsburgs. The results were published in the Annals of Human Biology in December 2019. Mandibular prognathism tracked the inbreeding. The more inbred the Habsburg, the further the jaw came forward. On that point, the folklore is correct. Now the part that does not get repeated. A prognathic jaw is a jaw. It is not a fatal condition. It does not kill infants. It did not kill anyone in this family. Charles II's inbreeding coefficient was 0.254. That is higher than a child born to a brother and a sister. Philip I began the Spanish line at 0.025, 5 generations earlier. What that concentration produced was not a face. Alvarez and his colleagues argue the clinical record fits 2 recessive disorders inherited at once: combined pituitary hormone deficiency and distal renal tubular acidosis. That is a reconstruction from documents. There is nobody left to test. He wore leg braces until he was 5. He had no children. He died on the 1st of November 1700, 5 days short of 39. 13 years of European war followed over the empty throne. The jaw is the part that survived, not because it was the part that mattered, but because it is the only piece of this that fits inside a picture frame. And a face in a gallery is easier to pass on than a register of 34 names, with 17 of them closed before the age of 10. The paintings are still hanging. The register is still in the archive. People queue for the paintings. Nobody asks for the register.